Lippitt, owner of the Hill Street Group and host of Communication is an Art, the podcast. I'm a communication strategist, a public speaker, and a leadership trainer. Most weeks, I'll be joined by other communication specialists, but every few weeks, you'll hear from just me to equip you, the listener, with practical tools and strategies to navigate through your day with confidence. These podcasts are always non-scripted and conversational. So let's dive into this together. Before we dive into today's episode, I just want to introduce myself in case someone recommended this podcast, Communication is an Art, or you found it on your own. I'm Pam Lippitt. I am a communications coach, a public speaker, and a podcaster. I've taken the many years of my career and distilled it and transformed it into sharing with you. I want to tell you what to expect on my podcast because I like to know what to expect when I'm listening to someone. Most of these podcasts will be bite-sized, 10-minute tips so you can get in the car, listen, and take something away. Once a month, I'll be interviewing another professional in the communications world or in a different world, but that works with how they communicate with others. If you have questions, feel free to comment on the post episode. You can find me mostly on LinkedIn at Pamela Lippitt, and I hope you enjoy. So now on to the podcast. Hi, everyone, it's Pam. Here I am. It's odd because it's almost the end of the year. And after having really bad weather in Michigan, the last 2 days have been shiny and bright. So before we go on, I want to tell you about something I learned and something that is kind of applicable to communication and certainly to the way I deal with things. I am not camera ready today. I usually record these with my face on camera for whatever it's worth, because I just want to be able to have it later. But today was not that day, and I really don't feel like getting dressed and ready to rock and roll for you today. It took me a while, but then I figured out, since I record on a third-party app or program, that I can just put up a slide that's not my face. Well, it is my face because it's just my still, but I don't have to be on camera. That's going to be a big change for me. And it's going to be a great way for me to have prepared to move forward into the next year. I'm so happy to watch the numbers of people who are downloading and listening to my podcast, Communication is an Art. This is really a labor of love for me. I'm not at the point where I'm monetizing or recognizing any income from it, though I will say, as an aside, if you happen to want me to come in and help you or your team, I'm always available. But I am so happy doing this, and there's nothing I love more than figuring something out on my own, like putting up that picture without having to pay someone for it. I am always ready, though, to call free support for help. Over Thanksgiving or after whatever, Black Friday weekend, I bought myself an iPad. It took me a while to set it up, and I'm just in this quagmire because I have two different Apple IDs, and one won't talk to the other, and I can't change the password. So I did speak to a lovely gentleman on Apple support. I really recommend, this is another preparation thing. You always call Apple support before you make an appointment and go and stand in a store. 99% of the time, that phone call is going to be brief and it's going to answer all your questions. In 20 minutes, he understood what I needed, helped me out. I'm going to have to wait a day or two for the system to clear and approve my changing something, But man, wasn't that so much better than having to drive to the store before the holidays? Okay, that's my aside is over. Talking about the holidays, is it going well for you? In episode 20, just before Thanksgiving, I talked a lot about how to maneuver in different conversations. We're not through the end of the year and we're not through those difficult conversations. So I am hoping that you're taking this to heart, this message. You can always go back and listen to episode 20 again, which is about standing up for yourself when you communicate. I think it's so important and it's so necessary in this world to talk about how we can communicate and how everyone is not entitled to their opinion of us. We can make our own tough thoughts about ourselves. We don't need help. We don't need anybody else cutting us to the quick. Sadly, we do a fine job right on our own. So just know, if you don't have permission, you're not giving it to yourself, I'm giving it to you. I am telling you, you don't need to answer any question that you don't want to answer. There are so many ways to move on. The most direct is, that's just not something I'm comfortable talking about here. So let's find something where we can both have a better time today. This is your permission slip. I'm signing it. I'm sending it to the teacher. I'm sending it to the party host. I'm sending it to the principal. I'm sending it to anyone you want it sent to. You do not have to answer a question that you don't want to answer, even to a boss. When I was in my first job after college, I had a boss. He was nice and it's not, I liked him, but when it was a one-on-one evaluation or tough kind of conversation, I was 22. I was nervous as all get out. In those days, I still drank Tab. So I just wanted you to know how old I am just by that. But I always used to stop on the way into the office. My office, the home office was in New York. So I would, leave my hotel in the morning and I would always stop at a little corner store and get some kind of pop or soda if you're on the East Coast to take with me. I don't know if I needed the soda or not, if I needed the pull through the straw, but for me, it was a moment to pause and think and figure out how I was going to answer a question. Now, when we go to holiday parties, we almost always have a drink in our hand. I highly recommend, if it's a difficult situation, the drink in your hand is a soft drink or water or something that's not going to put you over the edge. Use that, pick that glass up and put it to your lips, whether you take a long drink or just a little sip, if it's got alcohol in it. Use that brief millisecond to compose yourself and figure it out. Yeah, it's funny that, we're talking about like what you need permission for. This morning, and I'm going to tag her and let her know that I mentioned this. My friend Deborah Grayson Regal, who is an amazing coach, put up a post this morning that she got from someone else. And it says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're allowed to go to the bathroom before the task is finished. You don't need to earn the right to pee. My answer back to her was, you're like in my head. How did you know? We have rights on our own. Deb, thank you so much for reminding me that we are in control, not only of when we run to the bathroom, but how we answer someone. So make sure that's what you're doing. I'm going to circle back to the beginning, to practicing. Sometimes you need to practice these things. Sometimes for some people, they come very natural and you can't figure out how it becomes so natural for them. I'm going to tell you, it's not their first rodeo. It's not the first time they're saying it. They have practiced these responses. They have practiced saying, give me 1 second. I just need to make a quick run to the other room and I'll be back. Give me 1 second. That's not a conversation I really wanted to have tonight amongst all these people. Someone else could overhear and misunderstand. it's just not how I plan to celebrate the evening. So thank you so much for your concern, but let's talk about something else. Okay, the little devil on my other shoulder would certainly say pick a topic that they're really uncomfortable with, but I will stay in the moment and say take my drink of soda and not do that. So we're coming to the end of the year. This is what I wanted to tell you. You are in control. You have the ability to be the artist of your communication. Next week, I'm going to be talking, it'll be the last episode of the week. I'm going to be reviewing some of the different speakers I hit on, some of the different lessons learned, and things we liked throughout the year. And then as we move into the new year, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about communication is an art in the role of leader or participant, leader or team member, leader or part of a group, so that we all can then take a step up as we move into 2026. How are we even saying that? But we are. So I wish you well. I'm thankful again that you're listening to me, and feel free to share and come back again next week. Thank you all so much. Hi, this is Pam Lippitt from the Hill Street Group. Thank you for listening to Communication is an Art. Make sure you subscribe and continue to listen. We really appreciate it. Share with your friends all those different lovely things. And we will be back soon. Have a great day.